Hello, my name is Mr. Scott, and I will be helping you with equations for trend lines. Let's begin by covering some key definitions and concepts that will help us in this explanation. To make a scatter plot, plot the two groups of data as ordered pairs. A trend line of a scatter plot is drawn close to the points and shows a correlation. And finally, the point slope form of a linear equation is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1, where m is the slope of the line and the point x1, y1 is on the line. Now let's work through an example together. In this problem, we want to first make a scatter plot of the data to the left for length and wingspan of hawks. Then we want to draw a trend line and write its equation. And finally, we want to use the equation to predict the wingspan of a hawk that is 28 inches long. So let's start with the scatter plot. Here is the setup for our axes for the scatter plot. You can see that the vertical axis is labeled wingspan and the horizontal axis is labeled length. Remember, to make a scatter plot, you want to plot the two sets of data as ordered pairs. So the first ordered pair we want to plot is 21, 36. That is the point that you see right here. Now what I want you to do is continue plotting the ordered pairs from the table that you see and hit the continue button when you've plotted them all and you're ready to move on. Alright, welcome back. The next point you should have plotted is 2141, then 1838, 2446, 1631, 1939, 1735, and the last ordered pair is 1946. So this is what your scatter plot should look like. Next, we want to draw a trend line. Now remember, a trend line is close to the points in the scatter plot, and it shows a correlation. So this is a good trend line for our scatter plot. There we go. Now we want to write the trend line's equation. To write the trend line's equation, we're going to use the point slope form. So we need to find the slope of our trend line. In order to do that, we need to use 2 points on the line. You can see that the 2 points, 1430 and 1939, are on the trend line. So let's use those 2 points. The formula for slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So for these 2 points, x sub 1 is 14, y sub 1 is 30, x sub 2 is 19, and y sub 2 is 39. When we substitute these coordinates into the formula, here's what we get. 39 minus 30 divided by 19 minus 14. And that gives us 9/5 for the slope of the trend line. So now we're ready to write our equation using the point slope form. Remember, it's y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. We need to substitute 9/5 for m and the ordered pair 1430 for x1 and y1. So here's what our equation will look like. We'll have y minus 30 is equal to 9/5 times the quantity x minus 14. This is our equation for the trend line. Now we're ready to make our prediction. We want to predict the wingspan of a hawk that is 28 inches long. So that means we need to substitute 28 into the equation for x and then solve for y. So we'll have y minus 30 equals 9/5 times the quantity 28 minus 14. Let's simplify the right side of this equation. 28 minus 14 is 14. And 9/5 times 14 is 25.2. So to isolate y, we need to add 30 to both sides. And that gives us y equals 55.2. So we can conclude that the wingspan of a hawk, 28 inches long, is about 55 inches. And we've got our prediction. Well, that wraps up this example. Great job, and work well with equations of trend lines.